For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do the good things he planned for us long ago. Ephesians 2:10. That's a New King James Version. In the New Living Translation, it replaces workmanship with masterpiece. And in the Greek, it's poema. I think I pronounced that right, poema. Not for we were, not for we will be, for we are. We are now, in this present moment, created in Christ Jesus to do the good things that God planned for us long ago. So that tells me a couple of things. That we are fearfully and wonderfully made, as it says in Psalms, and that we have things to do. That he has given us an opportunity to go out and bring kingdom to the world around us. Maybe even to the world within us. And I know that you know that there are battles that we face every day. Sometimes they're physical, sometimes they're emotional, financial, a lot of times they're mental. And we have to be waking up every morning as overcomers. We were never created to sit idly by and watch the world go by. That's not what we were built for. We were built to bring kingdom because we are kingdom people. We are in this world, we're not of it, but we are also his workmanship. And I'm reminded of, tradesmen, of course, and tools in the tool belt, and there's certain tools for certain jobs, and you can't measure a block of wood with a hammer. Same as you can't hammer a nail with a measuring tape, at least not successfully anyway. There are different tools for different jobs. There's a job that I have, and God has equipped me with the necessary tools to do that. And they're likely to be different tools for the job he has created you for. Spend time with him. If you don't know what your job is, if you don't know what you're created for, then you need to be spending time with him to find out what that job is, what your purpose is, what your plan is. And that requires effort, and that requires discipline. That requires getting up off the bed from the doom scrolling, or off the couch from the binge watching Netflix or whatever it is. It is imperative that we spend time with our Creator. He took the time to create us. I'm not an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but I know with a masterpiece it takes time to create it. In this world of AI and image generation and the quickness of things, stuff like time can get lost because we need it done straight away. We want it done straight away. And yet with a masterpiece, with workmanship, there is time that needs to be taken. There is planning. There is purpose. Building a house, there's blueprints. There's the design in the head of what the house is supposed to look like. But that needs to be put on paper, and then there's blueprints, and then there's working out the budget. And can you afford to do what you want to do, what you want to create? So there's all sorts of different aspects to planning in workmanship. And there's all sorts of different aspects in planning a masterpiece. If I use a painting for an example, there's the canvas, and what's the masterpiece going to look like? What is it of? What colours are going to be used? What type of paint? What type of brush? It's the same with us. God didn't just decide, I'm just going to create Adam because I've got nothing else to do. No, I'm going to create Adam because I've built him for a plan and a purpose. I've built him to not sit idly by and to not be a couch potato, not be a doom scroller. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that he's going to tell you straight away what your purpose and plan is. But I do know this, that the things that have gone on in your life aren't by accident. And I say that because maybe part of the plan and part of the purpose of what you've gone through is so that you can get out the other side to minister to others. For example, I've never been on drugs. I've never done drugs at all. So it would be very hard for me to minister to drug addicts. I don't know that they would take me too seriously. Maybe they would. I don't know. But I've also never been an alcoholic. I haven't touched drink in a long time. And when I did, it wasn't for a long span of time. But there are certain things in my life that have happened where I can minister because I can minister out of the pain, knowing that I've had to go through the process to get to the prophet, to get to the riches of his wonderful glory and majesty, and knowing his revelation and knowing his restoration. And I think that's another thing with a masterpiece as well, is once a masterpiece, always a masterpiece. And sure, if we're taking the analogy of a painting, paint decays over time if it's not in the right environment. Excuse the dog. But paintings can be restored. Paintings can be brought back to life. Paintings can be back on display through a process that takes refining, through a process that takes looking at it from a distance and knowing that it's not lost. So whether you think you're a masterpiece or not, whether you think you're part of his plan or not, whether you think you are his workmanship or not, he has you here to bring glory to him and to bring kingdom to others. And, I know this is not a slick video. Birds going off, dogs barking. I'm in my backyard sitting here just taking the time right now, using the inspiration I have to tell you that you are built for a purpose and a plan. And it was a purpose and a plan long ago. And if you don't know what it is, like I said, you have to sit with him. You have to sit with your father. And like any good father would, when their child asks a question, he will answer.